Like they're going to give a sense of where characters are going to end up, and then I'm going to point out that, you know, in some far-flung future when they are all gone, like there's this memoriam, like they're always recognized. Maybe places got named after them, like their place, their status in the world is basically secure. I feel like that would be a really satisfying. Like it doesn't say that everybody's dead, but it's like eventually everybody will be gone, and even then they're remembered and their place in history is set. Now would probably be a really good time to pull up a question. So I started a new channel in the Discord called Questions for Streams, and you guys have not disappointed. How do you successfully end a campaign? Like after the big bad is defeated, how do you close it out? That's a really good question. Well, I think that you're on the right track already just saying after the big bad is defeated, because I think this, I don't have any experience to suggest this, but if I had to guess, there are probably a lot of campaigns that, you know, after the big bad is defeated, the fight, then it kind of sort of, you know, it's like, okay, that was it, you guys. Yeah. And I feel like that would be really anticlimactic. I would. So I've been thinking about this because I have a campaign that's been sort of slowly approaching this. All year long. All year long, I've been like, okay, sometime this year it's gonna end, and now we're on like alternating weeks. So I'm like, all right, maybe sometime by the beginning of next year we'll. But it's headed that direction, and I think that I sort of view the run up to the villain anyway as sort of like a gauntlet run. There's going to be, you know, a little kind of mini arc of like, it's kind of like that if you kind of go by land to go fight Ganon in Breath of the Wild, it's like you got to go through the castle and you got to go through like the, you know, all the way up, and you have all these phases and all of these things. Before any of that actually starts, like once the players know that that's what's coming, I would ask everybody, and I would probably meet with them, you know, individually to do this, but basically I would ask everybody to put together thoughts for like a what their character does type of thing for like a not a prelude, what's the exact opposite, like a postscript on their character story, like before the fight, before they know if they're gonna actually survive it, before they know if they win the day. Let's assume that you do, and let's, like, you know, and go through all of those details. And then I think I would want to have sort of my own set of things that would happen that, you know, there are the things that the players hope that they do to change the world, and there's things that I would want to have, like, yeah, epilogue, thanks, kind of structure. Like, I think having an epilogue section would be fun. I also think that it would be fun to, so like something that's really important to me is that the players have sort of like their catharsis after the battle happens, and then we would definitely meet again to talk about what happens to the world. And I think it would be really fun, like there's almost as like a reflection of the beginning of the campaign. How neat would it be that, like, one of the ways that they sort of continue on in the world, like I'm imagining some sort of kind of silly combat, or like maybe they're challenged by new heroes, or maybe they're like the testing grounds, like there's somebody, you know, that they can do something to contribute to like another round of heroes, let's say, and they're seen as sort of seniors. They're sort of seen as leaders now in the world, and they establish their different locations, and then we drop all of their notes about what they do in the world, the ones that are, you know, not insane. I'm certainly going to be willing to push back on like really wild stuff, but stuff that makes sense. We close out the characters, and then I would add a little bit more to it, and then I think I would want to do then somewhat of a narrative jump forward to kind of think that in a little bit more. Like they're going to give a sense of where characters are going to end up, and then I'm going to point out that, you know, in some far-flung future when they are all gone, like there's this memoriam, like they're always recognized. Maybe places got named after them, like their place, their status in the world is basically secure. I feel like that would be a really satisfying. Like it doesn't say that everybody's dead, but it's like eventually everybody will be gone, and even then they're remembered and their place in history is set, and then you sort of fade out. I feel like that would be a really satisfying. Like that's kind of in a nutshell what I have planned for my first campaign to really come to a close that way. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, and I'll report back, and then maybe next time I'll try something else. Yeah. And then I took over the northern continent after I destroyed the land bridge with the mountain range. It's like, okay, well that all right, well, like I might adjust that into. And then the barbarian had some independent projects they wanted to pursue along the northern mountain range, and the stories of their successes were numerous and varied, and you all can choose to believe or disbelieve those. I mean, the barbarian more than anyone else, and that's what history knows. Yeah, got to start planting seeds. Hey, I get it. You definitely want it to be, like appropriate. And I think if there's a good idea and it makes sense, I'm not sure it will for my campaign. Actually, that's not true. There is one thing that my party's probably going to experience post game, but it's more of like a DLC. I might get to it before the end if I have time. But I don't think you should be afraid to do something as a send off, some kind of fun little excursion. I think there's a market for pre-painted encounters where you have a mini for each monster. I think that if you're willing to, I think absolutely. The question is, how do you sell it? How do you, if that's something that you want to get into, it's like, yeah, I think so. I think there would be. I mean, look at all of the other pre-made stuff that people, look at tile companies and stuff like that, or the dungeon tile companies and stuff like that. It's just a matter of building that over time. I'd say it's possible, yeah. I was thinking about this earlier too, where it's like this is still. I think that's why I put it in Discord when I announced the stream. This stuff is still kind of just like magic to me. Like it's easy to kind of forget what's going on, but it's like, wait, I put some like files on a thumb drive. I took it out to my garage, and then like I now have this stuff that's like plastic, and I've got to spend some time with it to get it like cleaned up and stuff like that. But this still just kind of blows me away. This is still just kind of like straight witchcraft that it works. And I can watch it. I've watched it so many times. Like I get what's happening, and it makes a ton of sense. Like mechanically it's all there. It all is sound. And I'm like, okay, yeah, somebody was really smart to come up with this. It actually is kind of simple in a way. And then what people can do with it is wild. But then my mind just kind of at different point in times, it's like, nah, it's magic. It's just magic that can be. The magic box makes things. Yeah. And my kids aren't quite old enough to really get excited about or appreciate this process yet. But it's like, I was psyched to have those like really fancy Play-Doh contraptions as a kid, and now it's like something from like Back to the Future or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, my dad has a printer. My dad has it prints things. My dad has one of those in the garage. It prints things out. Like, what do you mean things? Just whatever, just things. It can just make things. It's like, what? Should sound ridiculous. Definitely. Oh, I mean, believe me, I've always been nursing this idea for a stream that I just call it like, I don't have time for this, which is just forces me to do something that is not contributing to anything that I'm supposedly supposed to care about, like the actual opposite of, because I generally speaking am being creative in some way or form like on stream every day. But if it was like, okay, what if I categorically had to spend the next couple of hours doing something that I keep saying I don't have time to do? Like, you know, going through my bins of miniatures and reorganizing and finding stuff that could be painted or turned into something. Or I need to repaint some of my player miniatures. Those have been in a sad state for a while. I don't have time for that. So, you know me and diegetic stream titles. So if you ever see it pop up, it says I don't have time for this, you know that I'm working on some weird some weird stuff around the workshop that, you know, I'll be glad when I do it, but it's really hard to take time for.